Have you been following the recent Trump tariff fiasco? It's the dance nobody asked for, but here we are. The United States and Canada, two nations that have been trading partners for over a century, now locked in a bizarre standoff over tariffs. Let me tell you, this isn't just about trade. It's about egos, politics, and a whole lot of confusion on everyone's part, particularly with the Donald himself. So, what's the deal? Well, President-elect Donald Trump has threatened to slap a 25% tariff on all Canadian imports. That's right, everything from maple syrup to hockey sticks could get more expensive for Americans. But here's the kicker. 25% of all the oil used in the US comes from Canada. And it's not just Canada that Trump is proposing tariffs for. He's talking about 10% on all imports from China from day one, and a potential universal 10 to 20% tariff on all imports that come into the US. Now, is Trump posturing? And if he's not, who will be the winners and who will be the losers if these tariffs are implemented? Let's dive in. We have to start with the art of the deal, Donald Trump's favorite phrase. But let's be real, this isn't negotiations, it's chaos. Trump's strategy seems to be start with something outrageous, like a 25% tariff on Canada, then, eventually, come back with a slightly less outrageous demand, and hope everyone breathes a sigh of relief accepting your new terms. You can really see the art of the deal when your counterparties get uncomfortable. Case in point, Trudeau flying right down, only to get bullied on social media minutes later being called the governor of the great state of Canada. And then, it's getting really uncomfortable when the premiers step in. I mean, hey, Canada, we got Doug Ford. He's tough as nails, right?
Holy Christ. I just swallowed a bee. Holy Christ. I knew that little bugger. Oh.
Okay, all right. Apparently Rob Ford's more serious brother won't do the trick. So we got replacements like Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, who flew down with Kevin O'Leary and Jordan Peterson. We are so fucked. All right, Danielle, what are we going to do here?
Because I think oil and gas is going to be key to being able to get a breakthrough once tariffs do come in getting them off.
That makes sense. And Canada's energy exports are a lifeline for the U.S. Midwest. Cutting off that supply would be like shooting yourself in the foot and then blaming the bullet. But hey, when has logic ever stopped the Donald?
You can't let someone hit you over the head with a sledgehammer without hitting him back twice as hard, in my opinion.
I see where this is going.
So I fucking ran up behind him with a hatchet. Smash, smash, smash.
Okay, we're on the plan C. We're going to smash Trump on the head with a hammer. So, how does this work? Well, the Liberals, who are currently in power, are projected to win just 6 seats in the next election. 6. That's not a political party, that's a book club. And they've basically gone on vacation to figure out who their next leader will be. The options? Chrystia Freeland, who's already backing away from carbon taxes she once championed, and Mark Carney, a global elite who hasn't been elected to anything but sure knows how to cut interest rates and juice the housing market. Can either of these people go toe-to-toe with Pierre Poilievre in a debate? I guess it doesn't really matter. The popular choice right now is Pierre, and hopefully he can handle this better than the last guy.
Our entire trade surplus with the Americans is the result of oil and gas.
And that's about accurate. In 2022, Canada exported $438 billion in goods to the United States, and the United States exported $308 billion to Canada. That difference is almost exactly equal to Canada's imports to the US for oil, of which Canada sends nearly 4.4 million barrels of petroleum to the US every day. And that's where this whole thing gets really interesting. Canada supplies 25% of all the oil used in the US. That's not just a lot, that's a dependency. Not the kind of thing you just want to slap tariffs on. And Canada sells its oil to the US at a discount, essentially subsidizing American energy costs. So if Trump wants to play hardball, maybe Canada should start selling its oil to someone else.
Maybe Canadians, if Mr. Trump feels this way, should be looking at selling their oil and gas to other people.
And I think that this just begs the question of why we haven't been doing this all along. Anyways, here's the thing about tariffs. They don't just hurt the country they're targeting. They also hurt the people imposing them. If Trump slaps a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, who do you think is going to pay for that? It's the American consumer.
And my view is I'm not losing sleep over that, because they will probably suffer much more than we'll do if we have that type of war.
Even my man John Chrétien, Canada's former prime minister, knows that tariffs are just a fancy way of saying tax. Let's be real, nobody likes taxes, except maybe the IRS. or in this case, the External Revenue Service. Yes, Trump wants to create a whole new agency to collect tariffs, because what America really needs right now is more bureaucracy. So where does this leave us at? Let's not kid ourselves. This isn't just about Canada and the US. This is about Trump's fundamental misunderstanding of how tariffs work. As Peter Schiff has pointed out, tariffs don't magically make foreign producers pay up. They're a tax on American consumers. Plain and simple. Trump's tariffs are a disaster waiting to happen. In the short term, they'll drive up prices for everyday Americans, hurt US businesses, and potentially trigger a global economic downturn. But I think it's much deeper, and it's why I spend so much time in the precious metal space. The US has been living on borrowed time, running massive trade deficits while the rest of the world subsidizes their economy in exchange for being the global policeman. But here's the real danger. If Canada or any other country decides to find other dance partners the US won't like, the game changes. And if Trump's tariffs push foreign producers to stop using the US dollar as an international payment system, the house of cards for the US dollar comes crashing down. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time we've seen this movie. Back in the 1930s, Herbert Hoover signed the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, which slapped massive tariffs on thousands of imported goods. The result? A global trade war that deepened the Great Depression. Countries retaliated, trade collapsed, and the world economy spiraled into chaos. Trump's tariffs feel eerily similar. Protectionism didn't work then, and it won't work now. The only difference is this time the stakes are even higher. The US dollar status as the world's reserve currency is on the line. If that goes, so does America's economic dominance. So let's hope cooler heads prevail. And if they don't, well, at least we have Doug Ford swallowing bees to keep us entertained. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Also, let me know what you think in the comments section. Thanks for watching, everybody.